Hi everybody, Crafting Journey here, that Journey Chick on Instagram. I feel so much better. Oh my God, yesterday I literally slept probably most of the day. I tried to work and I was doing this project and I don't know. I'm okay with Excel, but this is a Google Sheets which is supposed to be just like Excel. Anyway, I screwed up the sheet. I don't know what I did wrong. And so now I got to get a hold of the person I'm working with and figure out what I did wrong. I feel so stupid. I used to be so good at this technology stuff. I don't know. It's very frustrating because I was the young person that picked it up right away, and now I don't know what's happened to my brain. I don't know. It's on crochet or diamond painting or something, whatever. So much angst, yes, but I don't know what to do. Anyway, I will get a hold of the person that, made it, and we'll sort it out and I'll move on. And then one day they're going to say, we're going to have to retire this woman. She's just not getting it anymore. So I don't know. I try. Anyway, and I told them when I took this job, I am not a computer nerd. I don't know spreadsheets. I don't know formulas. I'm not that person. They're like, no, you don't have to, you don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. That's all I do. Anyway, Jen Archer saw my video yesterday and she pointed out that I had the trays upside down. So, let me just show you. I'll take one out here. Maybe I will. Come on, here we go. Come on. It's not in there permanently, I swear. Now you'll notice the tray did not slide out, right? She pointed out that there's a little lip on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, there is a lip right here. You can't really see it very well on camera. Or you can't even really see it that well here. Where is it? Yeah, it's there. It's weird. It's not on the top. It's smooth on the top, but down here you'll feel a little ridge. So it keeps the tray from sliding out. How cute. Okay, so you got to make sure that you have them in the correct position. So what I did, and one of my subscribers suggested this, and let's see if we can get this back on without. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. Just to put on a little post-it and write, what's in which container. So that's what I've done. Yes. Yesterday was so bad. I had the worst headache. And so I was taking Motrin, and then I would go lay down. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to lay here for a second. And then I'd fall sound asleep. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Anyway, I do feel better today. So today is going to be a better day. Yes, Saturday. I want the D's, which are in the blue container. The blue container. There we go. Oh, I don't know if this is going to make it easier, but, it's just so cute. Anyway, I'm not convinced I want to spend any more money on it, but, I would love to have one, like maybe 3 more, I'm thinking. Put 2 more here, 1 here. I think that would be kind of cute. Oh, actually, before I start, I got mail yesterday. this. One of the many flash sales from Lion Brand. What did I pay for this? It's Ferris wheel that I ordered. Oh, they don't tell you what you paid for it. How clever. Anyway, little Lion Brand catalog. Yay! Homespun 6 beginner crochet Afghans. Oh, they're patterns. Oh, how nice. It's not a catalog. It's patterns for more blankets. Yeah, that's what I need to do. More blankets. So I actually ordered 3 different colors in case I want to give away some of this. But really pretty colors. So this one is called Morning Java. How appropriate. Morning Java, because I am drinking my morning decaf Java. So we're going to call this the Morning Decaf Java Ferris wheel. I'm spilling everything. Oh, did I get that on me? Yes, I did. You can dress me up, but you cannot take me anywhere. Good God. Anyway. Look how pretty that is. Oh, it's so gorgeous. That's going to make an amazing, cute hat. So I got 2 of those. Then I got this color that is called, these are all number 4. They are 100% acrylic. Pink marmalade. Oh my God. Do you see? Oh, that color is amazing. And I adore Ferris wheel. I made a hooded scarf out of Ferris wheel, which is probably what I'll do with these, maybe to sell later on. And then finally, oh my God, here we go. This one is called Sprinkles. Look how cute those colors are. Oh, amazing. And super soft. Oh, really super soft. 270 yards in each skein. So just one skein will make a hat. So I might give away the other skein in the March-April giveaway. We shall see. The March giveaway is scheduled to be drawn on March 24th. So if you're not entered, you still have time, and I will link right there the giveaway. Now wait till after my video to go to it. Look, I got coffee on me. Good God. Oh, God. I'm not going anywhere today. So it is raining cats and dogs. Everything's flooded. I'm just gonna stay put. I need to catch up on my temperature blankets. I will say that I'm on I just finished March 5th on the loom blanket, and the crochet blanket, well, I'm still in February. But you know what? It is what it is. So I'm going to work on that today. You know, I'll put on a show or whatever, or trial when I'm, you know, whatever, and I will work on it. I might take the day off from trials. I'm a little burned out on watching trials. I'm going to watch some of my shows. I've been binge watching at night Chicago Med. I love that show. You watch one and then you got to watch the next one, and then, you know, it's not that there's like cliffhangers, but I just love the show. Maybe it's my medical legal background that I just love the show. I don't know. And there's this one couple on the show, and like, are they together? Well, there's more than one couple. Are they together? Are they not together? And then there's this one girl that's like just psycho. Like, what is she gonna do next? Yeah. So, yeah, you have to watch it. I'm in season 4 of that. So, what national day is it? I'm just looking at the time because I got to make sure I have enough time. All right, National Canine Day. So I think you can recall that in the Prokopovich trial, there was a lot of different canines. There's canines that are trained to find live people. There's canines that are trained to find dead people. There's canines that are trained to find drugs. And this all stemmed from back in just the start of World War II. The military realized from World War One that the other side was using dogs, and they're like, "Whoa, good idea! We're going to steal that idea." And they started training canines for war. So in World War II, we had a canine division of dogs that were, I don't know what they were trained to do. I really don't want to know, but they could, I know that they could like carry messages, take people down, I don't know, lots of stuff. But interesting. So today, I can remember because I was married to a police officer. So when I first met him, my ex-husband, and we were dating, he had a retired canine living with him, German Shepherd, and he was the sweetest dog. He really was. And as I started having babies, this canine, he just kind of adjusted, so the kids always grew up with dogs. We had that canine for quite some time, and then after that we started with Rottweilers. We had quite a few different Rottweilers. They were not trained canines. That was the only trained canine that we ever had, but such a good dog. His name was Bruiser, I think. Bruiser. I know my kids would know. They loved that dog. They really did. Actually, my son, I'm trying to remember if we still had him when Raina came along. Maybe not. But both kids have grown up with dogs, and they both have dogs. My son has big dogs, my daughter medium-sized dogs, but we're all dog lovers. So I raised my children to be dog lovers. Yes, I did. So it is National Canine Day. Do, 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 do. So we could talk judge, jury, and journey. First, the George Floyd murder trial. Well, actually, even before we get to the George Floyd murder trial, or what happened in that trial yesterday, let's talk about the civil George Floyd case. The family yesterday accepted the City Council of Missouri offered $27 million, which the family promptly accepted. And of that $27 million, they graciously said they're going to give $500,000 of that to the street where it happened, to economic development and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they're going to do with the rest, but that's a lot of money. So now that raises the question of, because they are not sequestering this jury in the murder trial. They're partially sequestered, and what I've learned that this means is that no one knows their names. Only the judge knows the names of these people, and no identifying information is being let out. And they're being told not to, watch any social media. But, even if you're watching TV, how do you not know this? I mean, I'm sure it came across on the news, or maybe they're not told not to watch the news, but I mean, it was a huge thing yesterday, $27 million settlement. How do they not see that? So now the question becomes, do they have to bring the 7 people that they've already chosen back and voir dire them on how they feel about this $27 million? Will that affect their judgment? Will they perceive that that's an admission of guilt on the part of the officer? It's not an admission of guilt on the part of anybody. It's just the city realized that they needed to make some changes in their use of force policies, and they didn't want to go through a trial. They didn't want the negative publicity. There's always things that are done for business, just as a business decision, but it's never considered an admission of fault. Now, $27 million, I don't know about that, that's a lot of money. But, you know, a civil jury may have given them way more, 100 million, 200, 200 million, whatever. So 27 million is probably a bargain. You know, if you get certain people on a civil jury, they can go crazy with the money. Yeah, just because it's not real to them. They're just like, oh, this was wrong. We're going to give this family a lot of money. So I think it was a fair settlement for the family and for the city, and probably the right thing to do. But how is that going to affect the jury selection in the current murder trial, which is the criminal case? And then we've got 3 more defendants down the road who are all now going to be charged with third-degree murder as well. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, huh? I saw this right here. I saw these right here. So maybe this is a good way to have your diamonds. I don't know. Now we can put it back. I like that a lot. Anyway. All right. So as I was saying, yes, at the end of the week, in jury selection in the criminal trial, they have now 7 jurors. It took them all day yesterday to get 1 additional juror, another woman. So there are 5 men, 2 women. 1 is a white female. 1 identifies as multiracial. 3 of the 5 men are white. 1 is black, and he is an immigrant from Africa, and the other one I think is Hispanic. So very good mixture of race on the jury so far, I think. I think anytime you get 14 people together, you're going to have a crazy mixture of everything. That's just the culture nowadays. Everybody is mixed with everybody. Everybody's multiracial now. They really are, because and thankfully, I think that I love that about our culture now. Anyway, that's my soapbox for today. All right, let's move on to Theresa Seaver's murder trial. Oh, should I yawn? Let's get a cup of coffee, and then we'll yawn. It's so boring. It's like the parade of investigators that have gathered evidence here and gathered evidence there and and I'm just waiting for someone to sit on a stand and say, okay, the evidence showed this is some kind of an analyst. Tell me what all this evidence showed. Like this woman, one woman, she went back to the house. She was like the initial crime scene technician, so she gets orders to go back to the house and take hair samples from the dogs and the animals. So what she says she does is she lays out a sterile cloth. Now, Jake would have none of this. I'm telling you right now, Jake would not have any part of this. They would play hell getting hair from Jake. And then she, she puts the sterile gloves on, and she's got a little sterile comb, and she puts the cat or the dog, there's 1 cat and 2 dogs, and she puts them on the little sterile thing, and then she combs them. Jake would be out of there. Psst, I'm out of there. So she combs them, and then she gets some hair in the comb, and then she puts that into a little baggie, and there you go. But nobody told me what any of that means. Was that hair found in the vehicle? What does it mean? And they did ask her, but she's like, oh no, I'm not an analyst. I just collect it. But I can just see Jake. Come here, Jake. Let's put you on a little pad and comb you. No. He has never let me get near him with a comb. Where is he? He's right there. Oh, you can't see him. You can't see him because he's right there. Anyway, he never strays too far from Mommy. Neither does Tootsie. Was actually sitting there for a little while this morning, because I sat here and diamond painted for a little while. I think what happens at night is when I'm not in here, somebody takes some of the diamonds off, and then I have to put them back on the next day because it just keeps growing. It's like grape nuts. You never find the bottom of the bowl. Like, where are the... I know, this is what I get for not doing sections. Yeah, but anyway, it is what it is. I'll finish it eventually. Yeah, so, I mean, that's my goal this weekend. Finish this doggone painting, and catch up on the temperature blanket. I'd like to make a hat. Ooh, what color should I use for the hat? I want to make a hat, guys. A slouchy beanie hat. So should I use... Which one should I use? Should I use sprinkles? Everybody needs to vote. I'll put a poll out there for you guys to vote. I'll put a poll on YouTube. Or should I use morning decaf Java? Or should I use, what's this one called? This one has a cool name too. Pink marmalade. Pink marmalade, sprinkles, or morning decaf Java. Okay, I'm going to put a poll. Which one should I make a hat out of this weekend? A slouchy beanie hat. Okay, now where were we? Oh, let's turn this around. Okay, so we were talking about Seavers Trials. So lots of evidence yesterday that one investigator, he gets on the stand. He was told to go up and down I-75 and I-95, which would be the major thoroughfares in and out of Florida, and stop at every gas station and pull video for this certain day. That's a chore. He did it. But so he did that, and when it was finally analyzed, they found 2 gas stations that they had stopped at, one in Bushnell, Florida, and one in Brooksville, Florida, where they're seen on the tape getting gas and going to the restroom. So, what does that prove? It proves they were in Florida, because, at one point they were both denying that they had been in Florida. Now, I was, I worked as a criminal, as an intern doing criminal defense. And so I'm guessing that the prosecution has to prove the underlying murder, and then that will equate to, I'm just waiting for the conspiracy evidence. I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. Is like, yes, I agree with you. These 2 guys murdered Theresa Seavers. They keep showing us gathering of evidence and evidence against these 2 guys. Okay, I get it. They did it. But where's the conspiracy? Like, other than the one guy who's in prison for 25 years telling us that Mark told him to do it and they planned it together. There is phone record evidence. You see the different phone calls between the burner phones and Mark's phone and Mark's burner phone, and then between the 2 guys, but nothing specific. Like, I don't know. Because they use code. They would say if they wanted to communicate on the burner phone, they would say other on the regular phones. See other. They would use the word other, and then that person would know to go look at the burner phone but the actual conversations that this guy said that they had, where, Mark said, you should do it at her workplace. There's 2 ways you could do it. You could do it when she's leaving work, or you could do it when she's coming home from this trip, because we're all going to go on this trip and I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to stay with my girls and she'll be coming home alone. So you can do it that way, or you can wait till she's leaving work. And Curtis Wainwright said he didn't do it when she was leaving work because he was afraid she might not be leaving the office alone, which, I mean, that's a good thought. because, that may or may not have been true. And he didn't have a gun, so yes, and the planning of this thing was really piss poor, but anyway. So I'm still waiting for like conspiracy evidence. So the other thing that was crossed my mind was, how did they figure out that it was these guys so quickly? So there was talk early on in the evidence that there was a tip-off out of Phoenix, Arizona, that someone called the sheriff's office and tipped them off. So they finally yesterday said what it was. Apparently, Curtis Wainwright's new wife was talking to a friend and mentioned that her husband had been out of town and he had been in Florida, that he was going down there to do some computer work, and but that it was very strange because he came right back home, and so I guess whoever this person was that she talked to thought it was kind of weird, and they called the Fort Myers Police Department to put them on to Curtis Wainwright. So then they immediately fly out to Missouri to talk to Curtis Wainwright, and he's like, no, I wasn't there. I wasn't in Florida. You can ask my neighbors. So he actually gets 4 neighbors to sign affidavits that, no, he wasn't out of town, he was there. Because what he did was he kind of mixed up in their mind which weekend it was. He's like, oh, no, you remember that was the weekend I did such and such? And they're like, oh, yeah, he was here. So he wasn't there, as evidenced by the gas station footage and etc. But still not evidence of a conspiracy. There actually was talk of whether or not Curtis's wife was in on it, and then that kind of went nowhere. Who else came on the stand? They brought this 80-year-old man and put him on the stand from Missouri. But he did say he had a house in Florida. So, but he seemed very, very delighted to be on the stand. So he was a friend of Curtis Wainwright's, and he is the one that loaned Curtis the Garmin that they used. They used a Garmin to go to Florida to, map out their route and get to the house. And even though Curtis said he had been there at this house a few times before, he wasn't exactly sure, which exit and, blah, blah, blah. And the guy was on the stand for like 10 minutes. That was it. He just got to say, yes, it was my Garmin. I loaned it to him, and no, he never gave it back. I told him I wanted it back, but he didn't give it back to me. But he said he would buy me a new one. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you very much. Have a great day. And then testimony was over. Yeah. So I'm anxious to see where this goes next. Hopefully they're going to put an analyst on the stand to kind of wrap everything up and tell us how this Mark Seavers is actually, beyond a reasonable doubt, guilty of conspiring to kill his wife. Yeah, we'll see. Yep. Some of you know what happened already, but don't tell. Shh. Yeah, quiet. So, let's talk about this day in history, because I have yammered on here for 30 minutes already, but this day in history. So this woman, she goes to, 1 year ago today, she's at work, she's an emergency medical technician, she's doing her work, she gets home, she's exhausted, she and her boyfriend go to bed, and in the middle of the night, boom, door gets kicked in and bullets start flying. Well, not exactly like that. Door gets kicked in. The boyfriend jumps out of the bed, grabs his gun, and he shoots at the person that kicked the door in, which happened to be an undercover police officer. They had a no-knock warrant that at the last minute was changed to a knock, what did they call it? it was changed from a no knock to a knock and identify yourself, or which they said they identified themselves, but the guy's like, no, you didn't identify yourself. You did no such thing. And anyway, they break the door down. They come in full force, fired 32 shots. I don't know how this guy wasn't hurt in all this, with all this gun flying, this gunshot flying. But the woman, the EMT, she's in bed. She don't know what's going on, and she's shot, killed. I don't even know if she ever woke up. She's killed. Breonna Taylor, and I'm sure you guys have heard of her. Since none of the officers involved were charged with her death. It was ruled that they were doing their job pursuant to the warrant. They had been fired upon. They returned fire. One of the officers was charged for endangerment because his bullets went into a neighboring home. Did not injure anybody, but he's been charged with endangerment, and that trial is pending. But the family settled with a civil case with the city somewhere in Kentucky. I want to say Louisville, but I'm not positive about that. But they settled for, I want to say $16 million that they got. And I could be wrong about that number, but they settled civilly for her death. And then since then, no-knock warrants gone. No, they don't exist anymore. Yeah, police officers cannot do that anymore, at least in that jurisdiction, and in many jurisdictions across the country, police have done away with that. Yeah, interesting. Now, both of these people, Breonna and her boyfriend, had a criminal history, but they were actually looking for drugs or evidence of drugs from her previous boyfriend. What? I'm speechless. There's actually so much I could say about that, but it's because it's just so wrong. Yeah, super sad for Breonna Taylor and her family. So anyway, that's this day in history. That happened 1 year ago today. Yep. All right, guys. That is the Saturday edition of the morning show. I love you all. Tomorrow, we're going to do the morning show live. I have no guest. Not yet. You never know what I'm going to come up with overnight. Maybe I'll have a guest. Maybe you'll just get me. I'm going to put up a poll as well. Which hat should I do this weekend? I think I'm going to give you till maybe, I'll give you everybody till 6 p.m. tonight to vote. And then I'll cut off the vote and we'll see which hat you know. So guys, we're going to make. Have a great day. I hope your weather is better than mine. I love you all. Take care.